Hello everyone, Coach Lockey here, PGA Golf Professional. Welcome back to the channel, or if you are new here and watching for the first time, hello. I'm on my travels to Portugal and I'm going to be taking you out on the golf course with me. I'm going to be talking you through each one of my shots, which hopefully will help you make better decisions out on the golf course to lower your scores. I've done a few of these videos before and there are a load of positive comments when I do them, so make sure you hit up that comment section down below. Throughout the video, I'm going to be popping stats up on the screen and they are eye-opening from the guys at ShotScope. So stay tuned for those because there's so many ways that you can start to lower your scores. And also, I haven't played this golf course before, so I'm going to be using their new feature, the MyStrategy, on the app and on the dashboard. This can be used off course, like in your hotel rooms or in bed at night. If you haven't played a course before, click on the golf course. You can now go to any hole on that course, get to a tee shot, an approach shot, and pick what club you might think that you want to hit off that tee. And it's going to show you your average dispersions and distance with that club, so you can start to pick targets as well. So let's get out onto the golf course, help you with some strategy and help you lower your golf scores. Right, let's kick off on this par 4. So it's 393 yards. There's water all up the right. Now there is another hole up the left, so I am literally going to be skirting these trees up the left hand side here and hoping for no cut whatsoever to keep my ball away from that left hand side. Now I am also thinking about strike. I want to try and maybe hit more toe side than anything else on this shot to keep away from that sort of cut shot. But let's get one going down the left. Oh, that's straight down the middle. Little toey. Beauty. Little aggressive, but I'll take it. I think that's an interesting one as well. Oh, look, we're going to drive over a little bridge here. How beautiful. I know that that is aggressive, and you'll see that it is probably only, what, 10 yards away from the water, but where I'm aiming and my dispersion left and right, that's probably, unless I hit a really bad one, that's as far right as I probably am going to hit that shot. So I'm aiming in a spot that my dispersion and variation is going to give me the highest percentage of still having a second shot. Now, if I had hit it dead straight or slightly towed it, then yeah, I would have ended up in those trees over there. But I'm not in the water over here. And as you can see, there's the rough. I'm literally just on the fairway. And what am I, 10 yards away, like I said, maybe a little less actually. So a good decision on sort of aiming point, how I'm trying to strike a different part of the face to stop it, maybe having a cut if anything. So again, heading towards a toe strike. Yeah, start direction might be a little further to the right, but if anything, I'm going to have a bit of a draw if everything else lines up, which generally, unless it's a real wild one, it should. So nice start. 123 middle, 107 front, 138 back. I'm going to zap as well. I always like zapping when I'm going in towards a flag, so I know exactly where it is on the green. So 126, it's saying 125 is middle, 139 is back. So that should be sort of middle to back depending on the shape of the green, and there's a flag on the flag that's saying middle too. So looking at it, there's not as much green to the right of that flag than there is the left, so I'm going to be aiming a little left of the flag. It is downwind, danger is long, so I'm going to really sort of go for my shorter distance on this wedge, especially if the wind wants to hit it. Little low puncher in there up the left, and that's on the middle of the green. God, that stopped nearly dead. Greens are pretty receptive. I don't know where my divot went. I'll put some sand in. I don't know if they've had rain here in Portugal recently, but the sun is out because I've arrived. Thank you very much. Now, I know it is winter back at home in the UK, so golf's not the funnest when it's that wet, but let me know in the comments down below, what are you doing with your golf to be ready for next season? Are you trying to gain some distance? Are you working on swing positions? Are you with a coach? Let me know in the comments down below. What is your 2024 targets? Now, I am out super early today, so there's a bit of dew on the greens. Greenkeepers haven't quite got around to me yet, but that doesn't mean that this putt isn't going to drop, because it is. Uphill, pretty straight, I reckon. So distance control is the one thing that I will always concentrate on at this distance. Yeah, it would be lovely if this putt dropped, but it's about getting it within a distance that I'm comfortable to make a 2-putt, so obviously as close as possible. And that's what you guys down that lens should be concentrating on. Like I said there, what are you practicing on this winter? Distance control with your putter should be up there. Reducing that number of free putts is massive for you handicap golfers, especially the higher ones. I think high handicaps average 3 or 4 3 putts around. Imagine that, just not having a 3 putt ever again. Haven't hit it up that slope. That is a big, once I got to about here, it was quite severe, but hey, that wasn't the easiest driving hole for me when I stood on it. Didn't suit my eye, so I'm happy with an opening par. I'm going to play, what should we play? 6 holes? What am I going to score? In the comments down below. I just need to briefly interrupt the video because we're getting ever so close to 50,000 subscribers. Now, to all the people that are already subscribed, thank you. But if you aren't subscribed and you are enjoying the content, make sure you hit that big red subscribe button and turn your bells on so you get notified of when I upload all my new videos. Thanks all for watching and hope you're enjoying this video. Beautiful little par 3 down the hill, and we have 147, and it was only 3 down. That looks more downhill to me, and it's 154 to the middle, so this pin is right at the front, so probably an 8-iron is a better club, although the wind's behind. But I'm saying 8-iron's a better club because it's 170 to the back. If I slightly mishit this 9-iron, that's going to be coming up short of the green, I would say, and then I'm going to short side myself. So 8-iron is probably the club, but the wind is definitely up there. So I'm confident with my strike with a 9. So I'm going to go with a 9 because of the wind as well. Now, if there was no wind, I would probably switch to an 8. And like I talked about stats a minute ago with 3 putts, just think about what if you don't know what your greens and regulation stat is. Try and find out, because I promise you, unless you're a really low handicap, your greens in regulation are going to be less chance of hitting this green than missing it. So you've got to be thinking about where is the best place to miss this green if you're still on this tee. And when I get my students thinking this way, their scores start to drop so much because they're not short-siding themselves. Their bad shots are still maybe catching the edge of the green instead of being in a bunker or in the water. You need to be thinking about your miss on every shot. And I know some people will say, well, that's quite negative. Why aren't you firing at the flag and being positive? Well, yeah, there's limits to that. Because if my percentage of hitting the green from this club is 40%, I've got 60% chance of missing the green. So I'm more likely to miss the green. Where do I want to miss it? Probably want to miss it slightly long, so I'll have an easier chip with more green to work with, not short side myself. But the wind is up there. I'm confident that this 9-iron is going to make the distance. Struck it nice, tiny bit left of the flag, and that will easily be there. Hopefully catching the green, maybe a bit left, we'll see. Oh, that's a shame. There's not as much green to the left of that pin as I thought. There is more. It's sort of a long, narrow green, actually. The clubbing was perfect. That would have finished past pin high, but now I got a delicate little chip to that pin. How beautiful are the trees and everything here at Aurora. I'm going to butcher that. I know I am. Every time I say that, I'm going to say it wrong. Oh dear. I need Rory here, don't I, to pronounce courses for me. Chip and putt needed. Lie's not too bad. Pop, chip, up and down hopefully. Little dead one, that's nice. Played that lovely. Little downhill, little left to right, nothing too much to worry about, especially with my new putter. Good up and down, take my par. Before we move on, I used a 58 there, and I'm playing this shot so my club comes out of the ground and doesn't get stuck and dug in. You can see I've taken slight divot there, but it's not a divot that I'm using the leading edge. I'm setting up in a way that I make sure the bounce is pushing out of the ground all the time, because I know, especially in the winter months, it's a little bit wet here. As you start using that leading edge, you'll get it wrong. You'll fluff it 2 feet in front of you. You'll start thinning it. And that's when those demons start to get in your head with short game. So I'm setting up every way that I can there to make sure that that bounce is working in my favour to move out of the ground. Possibly you could have chip and run that, but I think you've got to use a 58. There's not enough green to work with there. It had to have a bit of height to stop it. So I'm doing everything I can on that short game shot with a 58. I know that's nerve-wracking for some people, but I'm doing high hands, letting the club release. I'm doing everything that I can. There's hardly any wrist hinge as well to get that bounce pushing out of the ground and not get that leading edge digging in. Aurora. That's how I'm going to say it. 9th tee, par 4, water all down the right. Can I get over this is my first question. And my shot scope says, what was that program? And your survey says, 214 to carry. I can easily get over that. What was that program? And our survey says, and my shot scope says, this is mega aggressive, I think. Oh, actually it's not. It's 415 yards to the middle. It was 215 to carry from the bunker, so it's 240 to carry the water from here. I'm going to have to hit a slider. Now, trees on the left, another hole on the left. Again, I'm thinking that I don't want to overcook my cut, but if I don't hit a cut, then I'm going to be in the pine straws or on that other hole. But again, that's better than being in the water. Oh, come on, keep cutting. That is so good. Keep cutting. That is very impressive for me. If I was on TV now and had an audience watching me, there'd be some serious clapping. Because if that's not perfect, I'll be shocked. I've got a new feel with my driver. I'm not going to jinx it, but it seems to feel quite nice. Fairway, rough, my ball. Never changes, does it? Always just off the fairway. 140 middle, 128 front, 154 back. Pin looks like it's at the back to me, 147. So I don't want to go long. I don't want anything going longer than 147. So that's probably a 9-iron again. Now I know lots of you like these kinds of videos where I talk through how I see shots and how I play them. And I think sometimes it's also beneficial to talk about sort of how a short hitter might play one. And this is a key shot here. It's really interesting. So I'm in the rough. I've got 147, like I said, to the flag, and I'm not scared just to go kind of straight at it. I've got a bit of tree here, but my ball should carry over that, and I can kind of just hit where I want it to. Now, if I'm a shorter hitter and I'm 150 away, say I've got 6-iron, hybrid even in my hands, I'm playing this shot completely different and I'm seeing it completely different. I've got trees here which a 5 or 6-iron launch of it is going to go straight into them. So number one, you can't go at the flag, you have to go up the right. But up the right you've got a bank coming onto the green, so you can start to play with contours and start looking at how the golf course can start to help you. If I was a 6-iron here or a hybrid, I would be moving my aim to the right of this tree, Not so much that it might end up in the right hand stuff on the rubbish on the right, but aiming at that big bank, so my 6-iron, my hybrid might run, bounce, use the contours and end up towards the green, if not even on it. So I know that I talk about how I would play the course and how I'm thinking about my shots and things, but sometimes if I was a shorter hitter here, I would be having to play this completely different. You've always got to weigh up what is in front of you, your skill set, and what you can take on and what you can't. Tiny bit heavy out of that lie, but probably catch the front, I reckon. Oh, big gouge. So because I got my shorter variance there, my ball has ended up more front of the green. Obviously, if I knew that was going to happen, I would have hit an 8-iron. But I've picked a club there that I didn't want to go long of the flag, because out of those sorts of lies, it's quite easy to sometimes get a flyer. And if I'd hit an 8-iron, I would have been in the pine straws, short-sided, hitting onto a downslope. I'd much rather be on the putting surface. My good shot would have been probably 15 feet short, slightly heavy. I've now got, what, 40 feet, something like that. Right to lefter, nice weight, stay up. Not too bad. Hopefully get my 2-putt. A little bit of left to right here. In. This is an interesting one. So I got nearly 400-yard hole. Water's not going to come into play, but it's mega tight. Like, can you even see the hole down there? So this is where I think it's a way up. Do you go for maybe a more accurate club in hitting an iron, but have more club into the green, or do you go with driver and hope you hit your good one? Because I could quite easily hit an iron off the tee here and put myself in trouble as well, because it's so narrow, and then I'll be even further back. So when you're undecided, the best option to always go for is the big stick. I could quite easily hit an iron in the rubbish here. I can quite easily hit a driver in the rubbish here. So why not hit a driver in the rubbish further up? But let's try and hit a good one. Come on, hit the fairway. Oh, it's a foot off, isn't it? It's going to be a foot off. I just know it is. Not quite a foot off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yards off. And this is a funky one. I'm blocked out now. So am I going to play a cheeky little punchy draw? I got 108 yards to the middle. I've got a bunker to the right of the green, and that's kind of where I'm going to be starting. So if I don't hit this low and drawy, then I'm going to end up in that bunker. I've got a wedge because when I twist the club to hit a big draw, it's going to take lots of loft off. So I need that loft on my club to start with. Now, going back to the previous hole, talking about the higher handicappers, best situation here is probably just to chip one up and try and get it front edge and not be too clever. And it's kind of what I'm doing. I'm just trying to add a little bit of curvature in there to find a little closer to the pin, basically. So it's back in my stance, my handle's forward, my weight's forward, my club's really closed, and I'm going to try and curve it a little right to left to get close to the pin. And I've fatted it short of the green. That's a terrible shot. Maybe I tried to do a bit too much there, but it's kind of one of those ones that if you don't pull it off, I've kind of put it to where I've just told the higher handicap to put it. Now I need to hit a good chip and putt to make par. Greens are really receptive here, so I've got my 58, and I'm going to be quite aggressive with my distance here. Try and pitch it up nearer the hole. You could play like a 50, land it on the front and make it run a little bit, but I'm enjoying my 58 at the moment and liking mixing it up a little bit. Oh, stop it. I don't think I need my putter. aggressive with the weight up the right hand side. Green is sloping right to left, so playing the slope. Bit of a drawy spin as well here, and not a bad shot. Shall I be cheeky? Go on then, camera, wedge, yes. Good up and down again. Par 5, 540 yards. 2 bunkers down there, but they're only 240 to carry, so should be getting past them. I got a little branch here that's in my grill, but hopefully the launch of my driver won't get anywhere near those. Let's try and make birdie, shall we? Comment below, what am I going to score? That is so good. That is unbelievable. I'm telling you, the new driver feel, I have no idea how it's going to last, but I'm going to keep going with it because at the moment, this is on fire. That's a fairway. No foot off the fairway this time. Get in there. Look at that. Absolute brammer. Come on. And I got 240 to the middle. Shall I? Yes, I should. Now, lots of golfers tend to lay up to a favourite yardage on these sorts of distances. Well, I promise you, if you're accurate enough to get as close as possible, get as close as possible. I've said this message plenty of times before, but if you're 100 yards or 50 yards, you're going to win from 50 yards over time. I promise you. There's hardly anyone in the world that's better from 100 yards than they are 50. You might hit a few 50-yard shots and think that's rubbish, but in reality, in proximity to that 100-yard shot, it's going to end up probably closer over time. So, if you're accurate enough, get that ball as close to the green as possible. Now, if you're not very accurate with these, then yeah, you're going to have to weigh it up. Do you go for it? Do you not? That's down to you. And everyone watching, knowing me, knows I'm super accurate. Free high launch freewood. Straight down there, get as close as I can. A little bit up the right, unfortunately, but should be absolutely fine. Little bit of a toe and just didn't come back. That was a bit too far right. I nearly path balled it, but kind of I would have been sure if it was on line, and I've got a bit of green to work with. It's kind of a 35-yard pitch. And after the last one, come on you. Move the old pines around the ball. If you're not good at chipping, then I would suggest aiming right of the flag here and just kind of getting it on the green. Again, for lots of golfers, on the green is good. If you're better with your wedges, obviously go more at it. But I would be thinking, oh, a little branch there from that tree, I reckon, or trunk. Nope, not a branch or a trunk, it's a root. Got there in the end. But I would contemplate just forgetting the flag again. Get something like your 54, 50 with a bit of loft and make sure you're getting it onto that green. I'm going to be a bit more aggressive because I want a birdie, and my wedges at the moment, like you can see on the last couple of holes, I'm liking. Sit, sit, sit. And oh, I thought that was going in. There was a root under my ball, which I didn't see, but you can't play for those sorts of things. Maybe it helped. Do I need my putter? It looks close. I'll take it, just in case. Oh yeah, it's a definite putt. Definite putt. Being too cocky. There's my pitch mark. I'll repair that properly in a sec. You can see how receptive they are. But chance for birdie. Mark, give it a little clean. Place it down in my usual spot. Callaway facing me. And I look at the little circle in the A on the logo. When I'm putting, I focus on that and hit my putts. Pretty straight, maybe a little right to left, but not a lot in it. This will be a lovely birdie. So happy with that drive and the pitch. Oh, dead middle. Last hole, 1 under. Will I stay there? Will I go back? Or will I go even more under? And it's a par 3 with a lot of water, and it's 185 to the flag. Oh yeah, it is proper water around this green. This needs to be a good, well struck shot. Feeling good though with my irons. Loving the new shafts in there. On the green will do. Now the wind is about on here, and it's so hard to tell in the trees which way it's coming from. Now I know you're saying, well, they always blow in one direction, but it feels like it swirls. Now, because that flag is blowing right to left and the wind here is blowing left to right, so I have no idea what it's doing. So I'm going to ping it just left of the flag. It's 190 to the middle. I've got a 6 iron. Now for the high handicapper on this hole, I would go off the forward tees because this is not easy and there's not much to miss. Like, you've got to miss it left, but that just looks dead. It's got to be a good shot on this hole. A little bit out the right. Stay there. Oh, God. How I haven't hit it in the water there is beyond me. It's because I'm under par. I just can't handle being under par. I need some, like, psychologist to come and help me when I get under par. There was actually loads more space here than I thought. I thought literally as soon as you missed the green, water was coming up here. So I'm absolutely fine. Panic over. And chip wise, bit of green to work with, sloping right to left. I've got my 58 in my hands again. On an upslope, ball above my feet. It's kind of like a prod and run, this one. I'm not going to worry about digging into the ground. I'm going to play a lower running shot once it gets onto that green. A little prod, pitched it nice. Oh, it's not running out. It popped up when it landed. Landed that good. I'm going to wreck it on the last, aren't I? Bogey after going 1 under. What a shame. Under par in my grill. Right to left. This will be a good save. Come on. Come on. With my new putter. AI doesn't miss, they said when I got it in my bag. You won't miss with that, Matt. Oh my goodness. How's that not turned? How has that not turned? That was such a good par. Level par though, I'll take it. Loving my new clubs and loving this place. Aurora? I'm so saying that wrong. Let me know in the comments down below if you enjoy these types of videos where I explain all my types of shot. And I hope that explaining different levels of shot will also help. Let me know if you want more of that in the comments down below. Or should I do it with a higher handicapper? Let me know. Comment down below, and if you're enjoying the channel, make sure you hit that big red subscribe button and turn that bell on so you don't miss any of my new uploads. Thanks all for watching. I'll see you in the next one.